welcome to Where the Band's At Live. I am your host, Penny Freeman, and
Travis Kolasinski.
We're here today with the Reverend Blackmore Jackson McBride and his lovely daughter, Samira.
I'm the descendant of Reverend Blackmore Jackson McBride. I'm Richard Meatbag Ornelas.
He is a meatbag.
Alright, what happened to your big fancy wig, Don?
There it is.
You
It's an
know?
animal. Kill it.
Oh my God.
Well, you're all hooked
I'm
up.
all tangled up in your hair.
Fun.
That's been tough here right there.
No, we don't want this.
We're gonna knife.
Woo!
Put that animal away, will you? Here, give me that animal.
Looks like we're good now.
Alright, you filthy animal.
Yeah, filthy animal.
Alright, so anyway, we have Rich here and Samira from Two in the Chest, who are playing here tonight at Fort Ford, Sports Grill and Nightlife. So, that's what I heard.
That's the rumor.
Is that the room?
That's the rumor.
Well, then it must be true.
And you know,
It's on the internet. It must be true.
It's gotta be.
and
That's
there's
right.
this incredible setup out there on the stage. It's got that old west and gel and all that cool stuff going on out there.
It's a whole facade. That's an inside joke between a lead guitar player and I. You know, no, it's a facade is something that's physical. A facade is like not real. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, we have a whole Wild West town set up out there, so you'll be able to walk right into the saloon house doors and
Order yourself a beer.
order yourself a
Sarsaparilla.
sarsaparilla there.
Yeah, so come on down to the 44 tonight if you want to check out this awesome show, because it isn't every day that you get to see Two in the Chest play here in the Valley.
Well, that's true.
What do you play, like twice a year?
Roughly.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And we try to shoot out, in other states and stuff, other bigger towns, like Tucson, something like that.
Yeah.
But in town, we don't want to wet you all too much. Don't take that wrong.
Well, never fails.
Yeah, never fail.
Downhill, just like that.
The show always goes south.
Open it
somehow or
up
another.
and pour it in the trash.
Anyway, so yeah, you're for real free to come on down, and there's also we got Sweet Draw or
Sweet draw, yeah.
no, it's not Sweet Draw.
Is it first draw?
Sweet Danger, First Draw, and
Ex-Nemesis.
Ex-Nemesis.
Ex-Nemesis. We'll close out the night. In fact, they're the only ones going to be able to play in front of the facade.
Yeah.
So the last band for the midnight special, they're going to go on probably a little after 11:30ish. So yeah, we got a treat for you guys. We're going to be playing over an hour tonight. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, First Draw, Sweet Danger. Yeah, those guys are pretty cool. Sweet Danger and for that, they're all pretty cool.
Right.
You know.
Young bands.
But yeah, we like to bring those young bands in. And,
They're freaking amazing. Last night we had Arsenic Kitchen, and those guys freaking blew the place away.
okay, I'm gonna have to write that down. Arsenic Kitchen.
Yeah.
For the next
At
show.
least I said it right this time because I keep wanting to call them kitchen appliance or something. Yeah. So,
It's dishwasher safe.
so Arsenic Kitchen, they are that I think was their debut show last night, and everyone went crazy over them.
Wow.
So, yeah, they were.
Are they from Tucson or
I
something?
have no idea. I never even heard of them until
Last night?
So, yeah, the whole night was amazing. And so, the First Draw, they're playing tonight. They're freaking great. Those guys are awesome. They
Speak
just
up,
did-
the audience says.
Speak up. Well,
Speak up.
Can you hear me? I know
Yeah, you
y'all
hear me now.
Are you telling me my lavaliers here aren't working? I mean, heck, the
There's
microphones-
not
We're
working.
having technical difficulties with these darn mics for some reason. So.
Yeah.
It's the phone interface.
Huh?
It's the phone.
Yeah, I guess it's my phone. Maybe we should use somebody else's phone.
It's time for a new one, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to figure out what the setting is, but I have to change it too.
So I know you don't have anything you're doing tonight. You're just sitting around on the computer going, "Hey, we're just watching this live video right here."
That's right.
You gotta load up the car and come on down and enjoy it. Just step into the 1800s and enjoy a fantastic evening.
Bring your kids down like I did.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring kids till 11 o'clock. And that's perfect.
Get your horses and your
Yeah.
Iron horses if you got
Get you up your wagons and get your booties down to this hoedown. It's going to be one hell of a barn burner.
There you go.
Yes, sir, it is. Wilbur.
All right. So how long has Two in the Chest been around?
Oh, good Lord. You had to go and ask that. Well, let's see. I was born in 1840 something. No, the concept started in 2005. This is when I started building it, and then I met her in 2008.
And who would her be?
I met her, what? 07. I met her in 07. She's back there yelling at me, "You're wrong!" It's 07. But no, I met her in 07. And we didn't even know each other played instruments, but she found out I played guitar. She goes, "I play drums." I'm like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, right." But then she played, and I'm like, "Hey, I got this cool concept." So roughly, I think 2008 was when it started. We wrote songs and we practiced and got ready to do shows. And we started early 2010. No, late 2009, early 2010, playing unmasked. We just went out there to test the music, see what people liked. Well, they did, and here we are, all masked up.
So when did the masking up and the whole?
The first show actually was at the old Club Red Owl. Yeah, that was our first masked up show, and it was kind of scary because we've never done it before, and we never even practiced with the stuff on, so we were all freaking out because everything is just
How do you
different.
play your instruments?
Exactly, and they're yelling at us, "Hurry up, you're supposed to be on stage right now." What was kind of cool is we ended up with a good slot that night because a drummer didn't show up for the band was supposed to play. So we were playing at 9 o'clock. I'm like, "Wow, that's a good slot." So, we did the first one. I think Frank Murgia, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Good thing she's back. I would totally look like a fool. Too late. But he was in the band there for a little bit. But yeah, it was a great deal, and we started to enjoy it. We started seeing people smile and like, man, this is awesome, we're making people smile. This is great. So yeah.
So where did the idea of dressing up like the dead?
Well, that's another long story, and
I
I hope you're here to see it.
That's right.
My first two bands that I absolutely loved were, I have to say, Motorhead, Lemmy Kilmister. I started on bass guitar, and then Kiss. If it weren't for Kiss, there wouldn't be a Two in the Chest.
There you go.
And ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to do my own band like that. And you never find anybody that had the nads to do it. And so there's this.
Can you not talk?
And so anyway, I couldn't find anybody that wanted to do it, and so it took several years, and I've been in lots of bands and stuff like that, but when I met Rachel, that's when it happened. So I'd have to say Kiss and Motorhead got everything fired up for me. So.
That's funny, when we were coming over, we were listening to the chest, and Bryce over here says, "He sounds like Lemmy."
I hear that. Is that a good thing? I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Carry on the tradition. Rest in peace.
So that's cool.
So was your
Yeah, that's okay.
was what you're doing now your vision then?
Actually, it's starting to become my vision. My vision is a whole lot bigger than even what we're doing right now. It is huge. It's full blown promotion, and we just if you guys are interested in being in something like that, Two in the Chest could use a lot more people in the family. Because we have a lot of parts that can be played, and we finally got Bones. Bones, our Bones is the keeper of Two in the Chest for those that don't follow the story, and there is a story. It's a whole doggone movie. So
Maybe we should
When's the
make
movie coming out?
Yeah, we need to make a movie about
So,
it. It would be kind of fun.
well, like I said, you could develop, just dive right into the stories. Everybody's got their own story. The band's got a story. It's
Where can we find this story?
well, you're gonna have to wait on that because we're rebuilding the website. I'm getting it done. It says under construction. So.
All right. Well, I can't wait to read the story
But-
because now I'd love to learn more about the story behind Two in the Chest and where we're at now. Let me tell you, the first time I ever saw you was at
Joe's.
No, it was, where was that awards thing? Maybe it might have been Club Red. Maybe.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
Club
So
Red.
there was like an awards thing.
Did we play? We don't know we played.
No.
You just
I
won
won
saw
an
you.
award. Yeah, we
Yeah.
won.
So it was Fatal Malady had gone up there, and they got like, I don't know, it was something about the
Best new
Album of the
or
year.
something.
yeah, something like that. So you and one of the other,
Lindley.
it might have been, was it Lindley?
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Yeah, I think it was me and
Will.
Will.
Yeah.
Was it Will? Yeah, it was Will.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I see this big, giant, tall skeleton guy come walking in, and I'm like, what the, and so that was the first time I ever saw you, and I was like, what in the heck are these guys? Who are they? So then, as the night progressed, and we found out you were Two in the Chest, and you were going to be playing at Joe's Garage, I believe. And so, Trevor and I are like, oh, we're going to go check it out. So we did, and that was the first time that we saw you guys play, and we were like, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, yeah, we were intrigued just based on your
Appearance.
presence, your appearance, and how you all dress. So, yeah, that piqued my curiosity.
Well, just on a side note, the lead guitar player's wife is our seamstress. She makes all the Old West, authentic Old West clothing for us.
But who makes the masks?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, keeping it in the family.
And a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
I'm still waiting on mine.
This little girl keeps growing, so I gotta make her a new mask every year practically.
And new clothes, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So, who are you in the band? Tell us what your name is.
She said Mary Ella O'Sullivan for those of you that cannot hear us.
Right.
And what is your part in the band?
I play percussion and drums.
So you see up there with your little shaker.
How'd that go?
Everybody now.
All right.
It's the tambourine.
Yeah, the
That-
tambourine.
Tambourine.
But I thought I was seeing you up there with the
sticks,
shaker.
Shakers, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually gonna play drums on one of our songs off the first record tonight. She had been playing the one off the new record, Free Lucy. And she says, Dad, that song's too easy. I want to play something that's a little harder. I'm like, how about the title track to the first record? I don't know, Dad. I don't know if I can do that. I don't want to, Iron, Smoke, and Spit, basically, is what it is. And that's what she's going to play tonight.
On the drums?
On the
I
drums.
was thinking of surprising people, but never mind.
Too late. Oh, I'm sorry, my
What?
bad.
Well, if
We
you're not
didn't
watching,
hear that.
you
We
won't
didn't
know.
hear that.
Right. So she's gonna play one of the songs off the old record,
Never heard
and
anything.
it's a secret. So
So don't tell anyone if you heard, you didn't hear.
Please don't tell anyone. It's a surprise.
I don't think if anybody watching, they won't know until you go on stage. So it will be a surprise.
Yep.
yeah, they won't even
I think everybody
recognize
is
it.
surprised when they see you go on stage.
Yep.
You know,
I was surprised the first
Everybody
time.
gets excited
Yeah.
when you go up there and they see you.
She steals my thunder, man.
That's not possible.
So, how long you guys been doing this? Yeah, I'm gonna move the interview.
Yeah, that's when that happens.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Well-
It's always a nice little switcheroo.
Right,
They get to learn a little something about us.
Yeah.
So, this particular, or the whole
Hey, where
idea
the band?
behind-
Where the band's at Arizona? Yeah,
Okay,
when
well,
did that all fire?
That all started, oh gosh, it was like last March or somewhere around there. Trevor and I had gone up to Prescott to go watch Audio Paradox and Scott Roller play. After that, we drove up through Jerome. Kind of reminded us two in the chest. Not really, but yeah. Anyway, so we were driving up there. And so on the way back, because Sean and I had just parted ways with the local beat.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, so I said, you know what? Maybe we should start our own group and do the things that we had ideas of wanting to do. And so Sean and I messaged Sean and I said, hey, I go, what do you think about the idea of us starting our own group and doing what we want to do with it, and just kind of see what happens. So immediately Sean gets on there, boop, 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 boop. Boom. 5 minutes later, sends me a message, and he'd started a group. And anyway, so then he started, like, what should we call it, blah, blah, blah. And so his story is that he was watching, I don't know, or some skit from Saturday Night Live or something, and it was like, somebody says, where are the cracks at? Right? So he says, where the band's at. So it was like, where the band's at?
There you go. Yeah.
So, and I said, you mean where are the bands at? And he goes, no, like, where are the cracks at? Like the way they said.
That's it.
And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds kind of weird, but anyways, we'll just roll with it. And so that's how where the band's at got the name, and it just kind of clicks, stuff.
Well, it's kind of cool, man.
So, and I go, well, that is the thing. It's like everybody wants to know where the band's
Where's everybody
at,
playing, yeah.
so it kind of fits. So it's like a question, but a statement at the same time. So anyway, so as time went on and blah, 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 then the whole Longhouse thing came about, and we just wanted to start that. But I'm not doing the Longhouse anymore. So we wanted to, start off, I wanted to do interviews. I wanted to do the interviews, live interviews. And so, it started with the Where the Band's At Weekend Update. So that's where it started, was to do, the weekend update. Here's where all the bands were at this weekend, blah, blah. And so then it ended up turning into live stream. And so then this kind of got thrown out, and it doesn't even get mentioned anymore. So I wanted to bring back the whole mentioning of where the band's at, because this is where it all started from. And so anyway, so I brought it up, and I wanted to do the show is where the band's at live. And so, and actually, Travis came up with that idea. The name of that, yeah.
That was a rough one for me.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I appreciate
So,
it. It's
so
really
I was
cool.
like, yeah, I like that, but it wasn't a mutual decision amongst everybody, but I wanted to continue doing it this way, and so this is where we're at, and so now we're doing it as we're doing it live, and because that's the whole point of it, is to know where the band's at, and tonight, where the bands are at is at the 44 with the 2 in the chest, and this is where we're at, and so that's the point of the show.
There we go. No, that's
So there you
actually
go.
cool.
So this is kind of.
I had nothing to do with it. I'm just here for support.
But he is.
I'm just here to look handsome.
No.
Move over.
But-
No.
I was trying to get some support.
How it all came with Travis is because Sean was busy working on his tiny home and he wasn't able to do the show, so Travis stepped in. And so it was either Travis or Trevor would fill in. And so anyway, so now.
Trevor's always working.
Yeah, Trevor's working nights.
What's that?
Yeah. So anyway, so now
4 days a week.
Travis and I. Travis is me and him are the actual now co-hosts together on this particular show.
Well,
So
it's cool. Well, it's really something cool that you guys are doing, because it's important that people know who they're seeing or what's going on in the valley. And where's the band? Where they
It's
at?
not just the valley either. It's Arizona.
Arizona all together, everywhere.
Mhm.
Tucson, you guys do Tucson, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've
So
seen that.
we're the band that promotes everything from Flagstaff, Tucson, and then it's actually bringing in a lot of the national or international bands, even, you know, like onto the group because they want to come to the
Right.
States and play. And now, because they see how pumped up Arizona is and how big our music scene is and how tight our music scene is, they all want to come to Arizona.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's what I enjoy. I know a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of you do. Is I also have the Dust Bowl Metal Show. A lot of people know that is. I've put it on hiatus because I'm a national truck driver, so I have a lot of time to do it. And but I learned a lot of bands out there and a lot of great bands out there. I mean, they were sending for the longest time. I mean, just streams of music just constantly coming in. I'm like, God, I'm not gonna be able to play all this on my show. But yeah, there's so many awesome bands, and when you're talking about how close everybody are, it's amazing. It's amazing the camaraderie in the valley, the Phoenix metal, hard rock metal, and punk scene, and everything, and just everybody just gets along for the most part. And yeah, just like anywhere else, there's little cliques here, little cliques there, but when it gets right down to the nitty gritty,
We're the same
In your
region.
right.
Yeah.
And when you come to this show like tonight, there's going to be tons of local bands here because they support their own.
Yep.
And I do. Y'all know that.
We
I'm in
went last
town.
night.
That's
Yeah.
right. Went out and supported Versus All.
Yep, yep.
You know, Norm's new band. And Innocuous, the drummer, the female
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah.
She used to be in a band called Innocuous or something. And she walked up to me and she looked familiar and she's like, yeah, we played with you guys a couple, 2-3 times. I'm like, really? You were the one at the Nile. You were the one at the fish pub. You know, I'm like, oh, Crabby Don. You know, that type of thing. So yeah, they played with us a lot. But it's really nice to go out and support the local scene, and that's what bands do.
I'll be
You
right
know,
back.
okay, right back after this
Right.
break.
After these messages, stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. All right, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how tight the scene is. I mean, there's some bands that are a little bit more tighter than others, but
Let's just be given to.
it is. But I mean, the thing is we all get along. You know, everybody. You got your haters, you know, but
Oh, yeah.
that's never going to change, you know. But the thing is people need to understand that Two in the Chest, their catchphrase has been the same since day one, and I'm pretty sure at least one of you guys knows what it is.
Peace, love, and two in the chest.
There it is. Peace, love, and two in the chest. That's right. It's all about peace and love and forgiveness. You know, forgiveness is important. But yeah, the bands are tight in this town, and if you want to come down here and be part of a huge family, it's huge,
Yes.
huge family.
And that's what I love about it. And you know, for me, this all kind of started like about 4 or 5 years ago. And I hadn't been out in the music scene in like years. You know, back in like the 80s when I was into the whole the national band and stuff, air bands. But kind of had to raise my family and all that, blah blah blah. So about 4 or 5, I think it was like 2016. So. Yeah, 5 years ago, I met Ethan Fox, and
Right
he
about
was kind
today's
of,
date too, actually.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
April 8th or 9th.
18th. No, it was like 17th or 18th. It was my birthday when the show happened.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
So right around this time 5 years ago, I met Ethan Fox, and his voice just freaking amazed me. And you were actually watching the show
Yes,
last night.
yeah.
You were out that night too?
No, I was.
He was
I
watching the live stream.
Where was I? I was in. I said I was Wisconsin. I was watching from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when we did Ethan's show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was on
Yeah,
my
he was
laptop
live.
watching it. You know?
So-
This is cool, man. This guy's awesome. You know?
Yeah, so
Of course, we already know he's awesome.
Right.
Anything he's in is awesome.
He's in several bands,
Yes.
and at that time he was playing about 7 of them.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like his vocals just freaking amazed me, and so I just kind of followed, because he was like doing Kansas, whatever, the Kansas tribute band, and then he was doing a Journey tribute, he was doing Ozzy tribute, he was playing Static Confusion, and you know, and then he does Americana. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but that's another freaking show all in itself. And that's all like old classic 70s stuff.
Well, what's cool about that guy's voice is he's versatile. He can,
Oh,
he can
yeah.
go from one spectrum to the next, and it doesn't falter.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
like,
he's really good.
So that's what, oh my God. And so anyway, so then, yeah, you know, I kind of just started venturing out to different things and whatever. And then when Trevor and I met, you know, it was like, okay, you know, this is what I do. I like to go out and watch bands. So you know, let's go watch a band. And so the first one we went and sing together was Fatal Malady at Joe's Grotto. And so we've just been.
Was that Halloween show?
No, it was before that.
It was old. That was before they got all that.
No,
It's the
we
CD
seen them,
release
it was
party
in
for Burn.
2018.
June.
Did he have his hair spiked at the time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It wasn't
So
quite
they
as
were
tough. It was
after-
shorter, but
You saw it after the change.
Yeah, so they, because we looked them up on YouTube and to see what they were about, and we're like, hell, we gotta go check these guys out. So when we went down there, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna.
Yeah, they were so
I
awesome.
was like, to see them in person.
That's
you know?
Sammy's favorite local band.
Oh, I know.
You know, that's,
But you know, that was the
and
first
she's got a lot of them though. That's my favorite, Dad. Wait a minute, I thought, you know,
I thought I was your favorite, honey.
But you know,
you're my dad.
Charity had come up and she had started talking to me, Trevor, and she's like, oh, I guess I need to show before. We're like, no, it's our first time. And then so anyway, she wanted to take a picture of us. And anyway, so it then just came from there. We just ended up becoming friends with all of them.
Yep.
And so now it's just like when they play, we're there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're pretty amazing and they're really down to earth guys. And I enjoy them as friends and performers. And so anyway, so that just kind of got us all out. And when I started doing all this, I was doing the videos, and taking pictures and everything. And that's kind of how I ended up what I was going to do on the local channel, you know. And so then I started doing interviews with Shane Eckhart of Artists in the Spotlight,
Right.
you know. But that's like the whole process and editing and all that. It's all pre-recorded and pieced together. And so I'm like, I just
That's
want
too much
to do.
like work.
I'm like, that's just too much. I just want to do live, you know, no scripts, just live and whatever we want to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just, I like it better that way. You know, there's
A
no,
little more natural.
yeah, it's just all natural. You get, what you see is what you get. It's real.
Oh,
Real
natural.
Hey.
John Wayne style.
So yeah, so that's kind of where my whole part came in this, and then I got to meet all these amazing people, musicians, and, you know. but it is.
Oh, I'm not one of the amazing ones. Oh, shoot. Sorry.
You have-
I the kid started though.
Yeah. No, you are. You became. You know. I feel like you became one of our friends. Also.
But
know,
you guys feel more like family, and a lot of people don't need to know that. But there's a lot of cool things that this young lady does and has done for people and myself in the valley, and I'll never forget it. So we'll leave it right there. Bring it up. All right.
All right. Anyway, so let's learn more about Travis.
There's nothing to learn.
Nothing more.
I'm shy. No.
So what's up, Trav?
What do
What's
you want to
happening?
know? You know, I got
Where you
great
come from?
kids. I'm born and raised right here. Live in the same neighborhood.
And what got you into the music scene here? You the Fox.
Well, Ethan and I go way back.
I know.
We go back to like '95 or something.
That's what was funny.
Yeah.
You were, wait a minute now, let's back up. You were born and raised here?
Yes.
What elementary school did you go to?
Southwest.
Southwest.
St. Catharines, Valley View.
And high school?
I went to Alhambra.
Alhambra!
Graduated in '93.
Sorry, my bad.
It's for you.
I'm from here too.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I'm native.
What grade school did you go to?
Well, I went to several different schools because we moved a lot, but mainly for my elementary, the one I remember the most, and people actually remember, were from Harris Elementary, and that was at like the Town Center. And then we moved to like Goodyear, Litchfield, so I went to Litchfield School, went to Deer Valley Junior High, and then Deer Valley High School. And that's where it kind of stayed the same for
Home Lane, Borman, Maryville.
You know, I was supposed, if I would have stayed where we were, I would have ended up going to Morgan and Maryville.
Wow.
Yeah.
I started off at Spitonley. That was over there off, I think, 43rd Thomas or something like that, or Osborne, or somewhere around there. But yeah, wow.
Step on
3 natives sitting right here, 4.
That never happens.
There's natives are, hey,
It's crazy how, you know, it's like, how many people that I could have ended up going to school with, you know, like,
Well,
I
yeah.
would have known you. Then, you know,
Well, you said 55th and Encanto. I mean, I'm like, wow, that's pretty doggone close, because we were on Encanto and, what was it, 69th, I think it was, where Palm Lane was? I mean, Harris was just literally right down the road.
we lived right across the street from the school.
Yeah, it's like right by Riverview Park.
Yeah, well, yeah, not too far
Pretty
from
close,
there.
yeah.
We used to go swimming there. Remember that? Yeah, small world.
Oh, big time.
The music for me though, you know, I just love the music, love the local scene, you know, love the support thing too, you know, it's just, I just love music, period. I don't give a you know what I can't say.
Shine.
It is, yeah.
Don't give a shine over.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I don't know. And now with, you know, my kids starting to play, you know, I kind of want to get a little bit more involved and get to know people and so on, you know, so maybe it'll be future endeavors for him, you know. He's playing bass, he plays guitar, he sings.
Really?
He does. I don't give a shit what he says. I hear him in the bedroom all the time, strumming away, singing at the top of his lungs.
Well, that's what we need. We need more youth in it. I mean, we've got 3 youthful bands playing
It's
tonight.
amazing.
Yeah.
And you know,
So-
and they're kind of bringing back that whole 80s vibe, you know, which is cool, makes us feel like teenagers again. But you know, it's cool too, like for him, you know, you get exposed to these musicians now, you develop that friendship, you know, and when you become old enough or ready to go out and play, boom, you've already got connections.
Yep.
Right.
You know, so that's always a good thing too.
So
I've
I
taken him to quite a few different local shows and stuff, and
Oh, yeah?
taking him over to Scattered Guts,
Oh,
Rehearsal.
Scattered Guts, man. Yeah.
rehearsal pad, you know, which is their house, but you know.
All those guys are so awesome.
Actually, the Desert Vikings, when you went and watched them practice a little bit one day. Who else? I think that's really about it so far.
You need to go see Mercosette.
Mercosette is awesome. And they're actually playing with Fatal Malady.
And
And-
Pelvic Meatloaf.
Yeah.
And what's that other one? Choke Chain?
No.
No.
the-
Iron? No. What is
that's
that?
just the only 4. The 3 of
No,
them. and
there's
then-
no-
and
For
then
the, are you talking about the October 30th
Yes.
show?
Oh, and then the main band.
the main band, yes.
Which was,
Whoever they are. I don't know.
the,
Blessed be thy name.
Blessed be thy
Blessed be
name.
thy
Lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I already got Dustin hitting me up for tickets.
Yeah, he messaged me earlier. I was like, let me find out how many I need real quick.
And if I was in town, where would I be?
Right
there.
show, yep.
Yeah, because that is just
That's
the
gonna be a
whole
killer show.
lineup of, those are all headliner bands.
Yes.
Every last one.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Fatal Melody hasn't been out to play since all this pandemic happened, and so, you know, that's actually the first booking that they have so far, so.
Well,
I don't
even
know
Pelvic
if-
Meatloaf, I talked to Rich recently, and he's like, we're not gonna play anything until the record's done even. So hopefully by then, they'll have an album out.
Yeah, I've been
Rich,
ragging on
Pelvic
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm constantly, hey, dude, where's the record? I wanna play it on the show. Where's the record? You know?
Right.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. They're one of my favorite locals too.
Yeah.
Being around forever too, it's just,
I got invited to be in one of their videos. Pelvic Meatloaf.
Oh, really?
I think, I can't remember, Sink. The song Sink.
from way back when.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too way back. It was, I don't know, 16, I guess it was way back. Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah. Come on, Rich, man, get those albums made. What's the matter with you? No, they're amazing. They're
They are.
absolutely amazing.
They are.
So, the Metalheads.
They're actually putting on another show too, with Scattered Guts and I seen it earlier today. I don't remember who else, but yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
yes.
So, it's like the bass player just walked in for Two in the Chest.
Oh, was that who this is?
Yeah. That's Lloyd Shotgun McGill. Hey, come on over here and sit down, Lloyd.
Right on.
Hey, this is Lloyd, man. He's a descendant of Lloyd Shotgun McGill.
We're on live. Live.
Oh, wow, you took my seat.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go over and sit over there with him there for a little bit, okay? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
give him his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, so-
We'll be done.
Or 5.
So we've got, we've got a couple records out. You know, we're actually going to the studio. Okay, I'm going to the studio. Got these guys. It's kind of cool. You know, I know you didn't ask it, but this is kind of cool. I'm a national truck driver. And so I write all the music out on the road, and then I send it to my number one guy, the other rhythm guitar player. He brings it to the band, and they learn the songs, and when I come back, I rehearse with him. So it's kind of cool. He runs the whole show. He sings and everything.
So they get the music all ready and know how to play it by the time you come in.
Before you even go to it.
Ready to go. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's the third record. Blood, Heroes Blood. Heroes Blood. So, yeah, if you guys want to listen to it, you know, you can go anywhere online and we're there. So,
Yeah. Does anybody
For
have
the
any
first
questions
two,
for
that
these
is.
guys?
yeah, you got some questions?
No. Well, Lindley
What
asked
was it?
Sammy about her drum appearance, which you missed it, Lindley.
You missed
we
it.
talked about that.
We're talking about that. And it's a
Erica
secret.
says she's growing up so fast, she's beautiful.
Yes, she is.
That's really about it. Jeremy Niffen wants to come out, but he's under the weather.
Yeah, that's how I felt last night.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
better, Jeremy.
Yep. Yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah, you got any questions for
Bunch
the
of
old man?
slackers.
Yeah.
Come on, get with it.
Well, when did you begin your music career?
Oh,
like
when did I start playing?
yeah,
Oh,
like
gosh.
way back when.
It was in 1846. No. But no,
Picked up a couple sticks.
yeah. No, I got started right when I was going into the 7th grade. So like, I don't know, 78, 78, something like that. What are you trying to say, man?
A long, long road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When did you get into it? 16. And that was way back in what, 18? Yeah, yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's been a long road. Yeah, it's been fun though.
Yeah.
Anything scheduled for the near future?
Just the studio in October. Going to the studio. I do want to mention Steampunk Audio Labs. We recorded our first 2 records there. Iron Smoke and Spit and Lead Jacket Fine Box. Casey, you're awesome, bro.
I hear that
Otherwise,
a
we
lot.
wouldn't be coming back for number 3. That's right.
I hear
Or
it.
4. We might record both records because I wrote enough music on the road to do 2 records. So.
Maybe a double out.
Right,
Right,
right.
maybe. But yeah, and Bad Boy Guitars, thanks, man. You're awesome, Fritz. Fritz.
All right.
Anything else? Anything else? That's it? Any questions?
No,
From
bunch of
the crowd?
slackers. Bunch of slackers.
Slackers, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right.
No, we don't come to
Shout
that,
out.
you know.
Dawn of the Rising.
Dawn of the Rising, shout out.
Yeah, I didn't wear.
Yeah, Ray Coon's awesome. Now that I've been watching him forever. Trip Lever was the band where I got him introduced to him. Was way back when. Awesome metal band. Miss those guys.
All right, you guys. So.
Who's playing tonight again? 2 in the chest.
Not
2 in the
Dawn of
chest.
Not Dawn of the Rising, yeah.
Not Dawn of the Rising, but
2 in the chest.
2 in the chest. First draw. Sweet Danger and Ex-Nemesis tonight. And you want to see a cool showdown of OK Crown from the
Come on in, step in the saloon is going to be a barn burner.
So,
Well, thank you, Rich, for
all right.
coming down today.
You bet.
Even though you're up early building stages and stuff.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the trip to come down here just to check it out because
Yes.
you don't see this very often.
Nobody in town does a stage show like these guys.
Absolutely not.
None.
And, and also tune in next
And the music's pretty good, too.
Their
music's alright.
And Matt Taylor from
Scott Roll who?
Red, and Matt Taylor
Okay.
from Scott Roll and Red Rum, and they'll be on the show next week. And then we'll be taking a month off. We'll take the month of May off.
What?
So we'll be
Gonna
back in
take some
June.
time off.
Yeah, because he's got some construction
Oh my
to do.
God, I got so much to do.
Yeah, I know. You and I were talking about it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of stuff he's gonna get taken care of, and then I'm gonna try and figure out how we're gonna
Carry on.
with this show and get some bands hooked up.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, so that's that.
All right.
So stay tuned, and we'll be starting up the weekend update again too.
Peace, love, and two in the chest, you metal meat bags. Oh yeah, baby.
See ya.